In a forgotten town, nestled between jagged cliffs and a restless sea, stood an old, crumbling asylum. The locals whispered of the horrors that had transpired within its walls, tales of dark experiments and anguished souls trapped forever. Few dared to approach, but one stormy night, a group of thrill-seeking friends decided to uncover the truth. As they entered the asylum, the air thickened with an oppressive silence, broken only by the occasional drip of water echoing through the dim corridors. Flashlights flickered as they moved deeper into the building, shadows playing tricks on their minds. The walls, smeared with age and something more sinister, seemed to breathe. They reached a large, rusted door at the end of a long hallway, the only sound their heartbeats and the wind howling outside. Ignoring the creeping dread, they pushed it open. Inside lay a room filled with remnants of the past, broken restraints, shattered glass, and faded photographs of patients, eyes wide with fear, mouths twisted in silent screams. Suddenly, one of them, Sarah, pointed to a corner where a tattered journal lay. She picked it up, flipping through pages filled with frantic scrawls detailing grotesque experiments, how the doctors had tried to siphon fear from the patients, trapping it in glass vials. Each entry grew more disturbing, culminating in the final entry, penned in a shaky hand. "We have become what we feared." A cold breeze swept through the room, extinguishing their flashlights. Panic gripped them as they fumbled in the darkness, whispering frantic reassurances. Then they heard it, a low, guttural sound that echoed from the depths of the asylum, a sound that seemed to drip with malevolence. "Let's get out of here," Jake urged, his voice trembling. But as they turned to leave, the door slammed shut with a deafening bang. The sound of scratching filled the air, and a dim light flickered to life, revealing a figure in the shadows, a gaunt silhouette, its face obscured but eyes glinting with a predatory hunger. It moved toward them, dragging something behind it, a long, thin blade glistening ominously. The friends huddled together, their breaths coming in quick gasps. "This isn't real," whispered Emily, clutching Sarah's arm, but the reality of their situation crashed down like a wave. The figure lunged, and they scattered in different directions, adrenaline pumping through their veins. Sarah found herself alone in a small room, walls covered in disturbing murals of twisted faces and open mouths, screaming for help. She backed away, her heart racing, but the door slammed shut behind her. In the darkness, she could hear the figure's breath, heavy, labored, as if it were savoring the fear that permeated the air. She felt a cold, clammy hand brush against her shoulder, and she spun around only to face an empty corner, shadows dancing mockingly. "Help!" she cried, but the sound was swallowed by the oppressive silence. The walls seemed to close in around her, echoing with the memories of the tormented souls trapped within. The scratching grew louder, a desperate, frantic rhythm that echoed her racing heart. As the door finally creaked open, she dashed out, but it was too late. The others had vanished, leaving only a chilling whisper that danced through the halls. "Join us." The last thing Sarah felt was a cold grip around her throat, dragging her back into the abyss. The asylum had claimed another soul, the shadows rejoicing as they swallowed her scream, sealing it within the walls that had borne witness to too much horror. Days later, the town awoke to a strange quiet. The asylum stood untouched, its secrets safe once more, while the chilling echoes of laughter danced in the air, a reminder that some places were never meant to be disturbed.